What's up, and welcome back again to the channel. So for today we're going to have another Wizards of the Coast special product, which they call as the Challenger decks. So these are the batch of called the standard decks that is currently in rotation in the format, and these are a few of the archetypes that are, you can say, as popular in what the current metagame looks like. So they will usually choose the top 4 or maybe 4 of the most popular decks, and one of which that I purchased from our local game store is this one. This is the Rakdos Vampires standard challenger deck. I call it standard. The packaging just looks like special, but its current value I think is more than if you are going to buy each of these cards individually. So let us check what the contents of this list looks like. So it's just the other special paper wrap on this. Pay the blood type. Okay, so we're going to unbox it. Unfortunately, this does not go with the sleeve, so you have to literally purchase your own sleeves, or if you have one, and just going to use it to sleeve up the main deck in the sideboard. So looking at the inside, we have just a filler, and this is the main deck, the deck divider, and the sideboard. So the rest, just like some fillers as you go along. So just set this aside. Okay, we'll just check the main deck and see what the cards or components of this. So wait, let me, there you go. This reminds me of the usual old school development pack from the old product of Magic the Gathering. Anyways, so we have Voldaren Broadcaster. It's a 2/3 vampire flying. When it's another non-token, you can choose control dice or card dice, create a blood token. So whenever you create a blood token, if you control 5 more blood tokens, you transform Voldaren Broadcaster. Then we have the transfer version, which is Blood Summoner. So this is the card. You sacrifice your blood token becomes a 2/2 black bat creature with flying and haste in addition to its other types, and it becomes a 3/3 flyer on its own. So next is Henrika Domnari, the mythic vampire from Crimson Bow. So she has these 3 abilities, and she transforms into Henrika Infernal Seer, with ability of Flying Death Touch Lifelink, in which you can pay 3, and then each creature you control with Flying Death Touch and or Lifelink gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It's still a good 4-drop in its own, but the 1/3 is maybe very vulnerable to most spot removals. Anyway, so we get more of these. These are the 4 obs of the Voldaren Broadcaster playset. Then we have a Blightstep Pathway. So this is the black-red land, which is another added to my collection. This currently values around 400 to 500, I think. So buying this is basically the deck is having 2 of these in the main deck, which later on you can upgrade to up to 4 copies if you want. Then we have Voldaren Epicure for the 1-drop. Then Bartai Harvester, the rest are 2 drops to cost 3/2. Creating blood tokens and sacrificing it to get creatures -X/-X, where X is twice the number of controls you blood token you controls. So these are 3 copies, 3 more of these. This is, I think, a playset. Also this is the frame, it's a Sideboard frame. Then we have Mokotai Soul Reaper, another rare from Kamigawa, artifact vehicle, which puts counters on it against menace, and it has a crew 2 for activation. Then we have Sokensan Smelter, Government Artificer from Kamigawa, creating construct vehicles, sacrificing an artifact or paying 1. So we also have the Vampire Socialite, which is sort of the mini anthem effect of the card. As it enters the battlefield, if the opponent lost life this turn, you put a counter in each vampire you control. Then as long as an opponent lost life this turn, each other vampire you control that enters the battlefield with an additional customizable counter on it. So this is also a good 2-drop in itself. But you have to make sure that the first turn you curve with this one or another. One to cast one creature. Then we have one called Unveil. This is sacrifice effects. Whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. So sacrificing an artifact by tapping it, the called Unveil deals 1 damage to its opponent, you gain 2 life. So another sacrifice headache artifact. Then we have Florian, Bulgarian Saigon, wherein it will cost 3/3 first strike. That means your post-combat main phase. You look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the amount of life your opponent's lost this turn. Then exile one of those cards and put the rest on the bottom of your library and run under you. Then you may play the exile card this turn. It might be on the setup of this, but if you wanted to card out well, then basically this is the best trade-up we're in. Your post-combat main phase got an extra card for you to play from the top card of the library. So 2 copies of this. Then we have Dominating Vampire. This is a 3 cost 3/3. You gain control of target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of vampires you control. Then attack the creature and it gains haste. So it's still a cheap alteration effect, but at the same time it is very relevant because this is a typical tribal vampires deck, so it will basically more effective as you curve out well with your vampire creatures. Then we have Emerge from Predator. I think this is a 4 copy of this. It was very popular before in the Rakdos and Mardos sacrifice decks, and I still think this is the same, still being used in the current standard format. So it has this effect that it becomes top. You may exile up to 1 target card from your graveyard, then you put a counter on it. So if you sacrifice a creature, it becomes indestructible, but the drawback is you need to tap it. So at the same time, it is also good 3/3 4-cost 3/3 flyer. So basically the best attacker of this deck build, along with your other vampire creatures. Then we have a spot removal in Infernal Grasp. The drawback is only you would lose 2 life. So destroy target creature basically for just 2 mana at instant speed. Then we have Voltage Surge. Additional cost to sacrifice an artifact. So 2 damage only for target creature and planeswalker, but if you sacrifice an artifact for in additional payment for its spell, it will deal 4 damage instead. So this is 4 copies. And then we have Village Rites. Sacrifice a creature, 1 to cast and draw 2 cards. It's basically another sacrifice engine. At the same time gets you 2 cards to replace it, the sacrifice permanent or sacrifice creature that you used. Then we go with the lands. We have, in addition to Pathways, we have the Boldaran Estate. These are 3 copies of this. Pay in 1 life, add mana mini-color. Spend this mana only to cast a vampire spell. Then, in the long run, it will be able to produce a bad token by having 5 extra mana, colorless mana, or any mana you would use to create it to activate its ability. And at the same time, it will cost 1 less activation for its vampire you control. Then we have the Manland. This is the Manland, probably the best mana that can attack. For red, it is the Den of the Bugbear from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. You may pay for activate it, and it becomes a 3/2 goblin creature that whenever it attacks, it creates a 1/1 red creature goblin token with tap and attacking. So 2 copies of it. You have another fixer for Black Red Battlefield Caves from Kamigawa, the Kamigawa version. It comes tap, but you gain 2 life. You gain 1 life from it. Then all of the basic lands are Sigunting, are full art from Crimson Bow, and also the same Crimson Bow sketch art for Swamp. So we have, I think, 6 of this. This is 7 swamps and 6 mountains for the total of the addition for the lands. 13, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. So 24 more lands on the main deck. And now we can proceed to the sideboard. We've checked the sideboard options. I think I also saw this list online, but So check again what this actual cards would look like. So just a quick check on this. So Jures and automatic sideboard for control in mid-range decks. So basically you can take out your mass removal, your best planeswalker, or any other threat that you may need to discard them at the usual, at the right timing, of course. Then we have Falconat for beer. This is the rare from Crimson Bow. This is 2 cost 3/1, can block, but you may sacrifice 2 blood tokens. When it deals combat damage, you can create a blood token, but upon sacrificing 2 blood tokens, you may return Falconat for beer from the graveyard to the battlefield. So basically, this becomes a recursion attacker. At the same time, for 2 cast 3/1, it's flying, so a good evasion on its own. And we have a Braid for 4 copies. Destroy artifact or 3 damage to target creature. More of a utility card for any aggro or artifact-based matchups. Then we have Kalos Blood Mage. So just another utility vampire. You can create a pest token, draw a card, lose 1 life, or exile target creatures, target players from graveyard. So 2 copies of this. And also have Angie, Maid of Dishonor for 5. One or more vampires on the battlefield. You create a blood token also, and triggers once this turn, but you may sacrifice another creature or a blood token. Its opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So another reach for the vampire decks in case the board gets cluttered. You can just kill them with your lose life effects from the blood tokens. And another Phonographs for additional spot removal. So these are just fillers, the blood tokens that you want, just a commercial card, and some cards, reminder cards for your double-faced. This is for the double-faced lands card, and also for this one for day and night cards in your deck. So overall, I think this is a good value to buy. I bought this from my local game store at around 1,750 pesos. Or well, they short out all of the cards added here. This may seem to be more than its sale SRP value. So I would suggest, if you go with the standard again, you would go with this Rakdos Vampires or any other that's listed on the other 4 standard decks that is available in the market in this batch. So thank you again for watching this opening video of this calendar deck, and until the next time.